Injustice doesn't just happen in the shadows. Sometimes it wears a robe and holds a gavel. In every corner of the world, innocent people have been locked away because of racism, fear, corrupt investigations, or careless prosecutions. These stories are not fiction. They are real, and they shattered lives. This is a series about the truth that took years to be heard, and the people who paid the price for justice gone wrong. These are the 10 wrongful convictions that shook the world. 10 wrongful convictions that shook the world. Episode 1. Rubin Hurricane Carter, brought down not by punches but by injustice. In the 1960s, a man stormed the boxing ring like a hurricane. Rubin Hurricane Carter. While dreaming of championships, one morning he was accused of a triple murder he didn't commit. This wasn't just the fall of a boxer. It was the conviction of an entire justice system. Who was boxer Rubin Carter? Rubin Carter was born in 1937 in New Jersey. That he had a troubled childhood and was sent to a reform school as a teenager. But during his time in the military, he discovered boxing, and his talent stood out immediately. That he was so fierce in the ring, they called him Hurricane. He knocked out opponents in the first round and climbed quickly toward a title shot. The 1966 murder and arrest. On the night of June 17, 1966, 3 people were shot dead at a bar in New Jersey. Carter and his friend John Artis were stopped by police while driving nearby. There was no blood on them, no weapon in the car. Eyewitnesses at the scene said they didn't recognize Carter. Still, the police arrested them based on the testimony of 2 criminals who later recanted. Trial, racism, and protest. At the 1967 trial, the entire jury was white. There was barely any evidence, yet Carter was found guilty. Carter said, "I wasn't afraid of punches in the ring, but I felt powerless against injustice." In 1975, Bob Dylan wrote the song Hurricane about Carter. That IT sparked global awareness and rallies in his support. Release and legacy. Carter fought for his freedom for 19 years. In 1985, a federal judge overturned the conviction, calling the case tainted by racism and prejudice. Carter was released at age 48. That he moved to Canada and dedicated his life to helping others wrongly convicted. That he passed away in 2005 at the age of 76. Rubin Carter may not have become a champion in the ring, but the fight he led for justice was one of the most honorable battles in history. This wasn't just a story of a man, but of a broken system. What if it had been you? What would you have done? Episode 2. The Central Park 5. How fear and racism stole their youth. New York City, 1989. A brutal crime in Central Park. The city wanted justice. Fast. 5 teenagers were accused, convicted, and later proven innocent. This is the story of how panic, prejudice, and pressure destroyed 5 young lives. The crime that shook the city. On April 19, 1989, a young white woman named Trisha Meili was found beaten and raped while jogging in Central Park. The crime was horrifying and made national headlines. That same night, police arrested a group of Black and Latino teenagers. Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Yusef Salaam, Raymond Santana, and Corey Wise. They were between 14 and 16 years old. Coerced confessions. The boys were held for hours without lawyers or parents. They were manipulated, intimidated, and promised they could go home if they just told the truth. Eventually, all 5 gave recorded confessions, each different, each full of inconsistencies. None of the DNA at the scene matched them. Still, the confessions were used to convict them. Trial by media and injustice. The media dubbed them a wolf pack. Newspapers printed their photos and fueled public outrage. Donald Trump even took out full-page ads calling for the death penalty. In 1990, the boys were found guilty and sentenced to 5 to 15 years in prison. There was no physical evidence linking them to the attack. The truth revealed. In 2002, Matias Reyes, a convicted rapist and murderer, confessed to the crime. His DNA was a perfect match. The Central Park 5 were exonerated after spending between 6 and 13 years in prison. They became symbols of a broken justice system and the dangers of racial bias. They lost their youth, but not their dignity. The story of the Central Park 5 is not just about injustice. It's about resilience. That it's a warning to us all. When fear drives justice, truth becomes collateral damage.